I want to focus on Australia too, because I've had a lot of people where they're like, okay, the time's different, like the niches are different. Like I actually even heard that concrete is hard over there because concrete's not so big. You know what I'm saying? So how was that for you guys? Like, was concrete like the first niche that you've ever done? Like, did you feel like it could work, it couldn't work? Like, what are your thoughts?
So it's interesting. The two sites that I have sold prior to jumping on the paid program were both in roofing. And I know you guys are like, no roofing. But I think maybe roofing here is a bit different to the roofing in the US. So mine are mostly focusing on roof repair and roof restorations, which is fix up what needs fixing, clean, reseal, paint, that kind of job. It's not a complete roof replacement, whereas I think maybe roofing over there is more like doing a re-roof. I'm not sure. That's just sort of what I could tell, but it doesn't seem to be overly dominated by big brands over here. Like I've got a roofing site in this area and I'm beating the big boys down here, and they're like the big branded sort of one, but they're still not, it's not like big nationwide sort of roofing companies. So yeah, for me, that's been something I've already kind of found to be a good little playground. And so now that I've got the extra stuff that I've learned with you guys, I'm keen to come at that now with sort of a different perspective and see what else, how I can go with that. But this was my first concrete site. And as I said, I had been building it organically, but yeah, I'm already getting calls for these 2 1-pages that I've set up, and they're both concrete. So pretty much just, moving fast with the program. I just went, the numbers looked good for concrete when I ran them. And so I just kind of went, yeah, let's have a go. But I do now want to go and do a couple more in my little roofing playground because, yeah, that's been good as well. And I figure if I could get results doing it the slow way in roofing, then maybe I can get good results this way.
And my thoughts too was, I think whatever niche you look at, you can always go, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it because, and you can look for a reason not to do it, or you just do it, you run the ads and see what happens, and then So that's kind of the good bit. You test it out, and if it's good, you go, and if not, you move on to the next one.
Well, and that's the thing is it should be that simple, but I've had people that it's like the hardest thing to pick the niche, but I love that mindset. Like it's true. It's like you could either go out traditionally, try a niche, build it out, do the hours, spend all the time, and then it not work and it just sit there, or you could just be like, hey, let's just try it. Like obviously, like take what people have told you and then try it. If it doesn't work, you spend a couple $100, 2 weeks, and cut it off, and then pick a new city. It's so true. You just got to realize like it's really not it doesn't cost as much as a lot of people think it does.
But I think that's what I've loved about this model is we can test something I've just sold one for $1,500 a month, right? Now I just kind of go, that now pays for me to test, a handful of other sites with what I've earned off that one this month. So rather than, wasting 3-6 months trying to see if these things are getting calls, and they don't really get going till after 6 months a lot of the time, I think, before they're, really getting the volume in there. So this has been, game changing.
And I think even if you get a successful site where you got leads coming in, but you can't find a business owner, same thing, like turn the ads off and move on.
Yeah, move on and test it again in 6 months,
Come back.
Yeah. I think I watched the interview with Jerry, and he said something about, he always thought some people are like cagey about saying, oh, I'm getting these leads off a 1-pager if the business owner asks. But the way he worded it made total sense as well, of just going, well, actually, I test out to make sure I can get you some good calls in the area with this landing page. And then once I know that I do have someone that wants to work with me, of course, I'm going to build this website out. It's going to have more pages. And then when I was talking to my guy on the phone the other day, he had a few questions about that. And I had an actual website at least at that point, but I said to him, oh look, it's a very generic, he didn't actually ask to see it, it's a pretty generic website at the moment. It looks professional and everything, but it's fairly generic. I said, but once I know, once you sign on for longer than 3 months and we definitely working together, if you want to have some of your own sort of colors on there, your own branding, I'd love to slap a picture of you or your truck on the about page and make it a little bit more personalized. It's performs better that way anyway. And he sort of liked the idea of that, but I just said to him, well look, I just want to make sure I've got someone to partner up with first. So yeah.
I heard this one time. It's like, do concrete contractors, and you could ask it for whoever it is, but it's like, dude, do you go lay a slab of concrete in a field and then just like try to sell it like as poured?
Yeah.
No, it's like you sell it, then you pour it. It's like the same thing. It's like, dude, we're doing the same thing. We're selling it. If everything looks good, we'll go in, we'll spend the time and the money to do it. But it's the same thing. It's just an expense that we don't want to do if it's not worth it. And every business owner's like, oh yeah,
that makes so much sense.